Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday's version of Take 5. Taking 5 minutes or so, looking at Jesus' words in Sermon on the Mount and see how they apply to us. The theme of today is fasting. Have you ever fasted before? You know what fasting is. We often think of it just as eating, but it's basically letting go of an appetite in order to seek God. People throughout the scriptures fasted. Have you ever set aside a day or a couple of days where you just stopped eating, or in a moment we'll talk about other things that you could stop doing. Stopped eating so that you could specifically spend some time in prayer with the Lord, with some specific things. I have on a number of occasions when I would have to make a very big decision about something. I would spend 24 hours completely fasting and being alone with the Lord and praying. When my wife Sue was very sick, I spent time fasting and praying over that. I've done it at other times as well. There's nothing magical about it, and yet it is something that is even assumed in the scriptures. People do it. I think specifically King David, when he had a sick child, was praying and fasting over that. Jesus, when he talks about it, notice, I'm going to read it to you now, notice the assumption that he makes. Verse 16 of Luke chapter 6, Jesus says, and when you fast, when you go to work on Monday, when the Browns play next Sunday, it's when this happens, here's how you ought to do it, when you fast. So it's an assumption that we fast. If we were together face to face, I would show you some good books or some good articles on fasting. Richard Foster, for example, has a book called Spiritual Disciplines. There are some good books and articles about the spiritual disciplines that include fasting that I would give to you. When you fast, here's what Jesus says. You gotta love his sense of humor. He's talking about something serious about fasting. And then he says, and when you fast, don't look gloomy. Don't look like gloomy Gus. Oh, poor me. Don't look gloomy like the hypocrites do. For they disfigure their faces that their fasting may be seen by others. So they want everybody to know what they're doing. So the men stop shaving and you stop combing your hair. No! This isn't for other people to see. Your fasting is between you and the Lord. Truly I say to you, they've received their rewards. If they just wanted the applause of men, you're so godly, you fast, look at that. Don't do that. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face. In other words, look normal. When you fast, comb your hair, shave your face. When you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who's in secret will reward you in secret. The assumption, you will fast. The purpose of fasting, in a sense, denying yourself some of the self-necessities in order to intentionally spend time with the Lord in prayer. Not necessarily to call his attention, but in some ways to say, God, I'm really serious about this. But also, throughout the day of your fasting, you will be remembering that you are in prayer with the Lord. The assumption that you pray, and then secondarily, not so that other people will say, wow, you're godly, you're fasting, but that you and God have this communion so deep, so clear, that you're even willing to stop eating. And it can be stopping doing other things. People fast from media. They will fast from habits, from working. The people will fast from anything that really you depend on, that puts your dependence on God. We should talk more about this. Maybe I'll spend a whole day talking about spiritual disciplines and fasting. But in order to keep company with the Lord and to bring your requests to him, the spiritual discipline of fasting is called upon. Not that other people will notice, but you spend a day, however long, you don't eat, or you put aside the things that you really like, media, driving, any number of things. You will fast from that in order to pray to the Lord and put your attention to Him. When you do it, Jesus says, He assumes you're doing it. When you do it, don't call attention to yourself. Call attention to the Lord. We'll talk more about it, I think, in the days to come. See you on Wednesday. Jesus is going to change subjects a little bit, and He's going to talk about where are your treasures. Are they in your bank account, or are they with the Lord? Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you.